Okay, so few things to clarify first. So I tried to upload the lectures. It seems to be my connection is having a little bit issues in terms of the file size. I frequently get cut off. I'm not sure how I can fix it. Probably I will try another connection. My dial-up connection seems to be really, really unstable at the moment, but today I will try my best to get everything uploaded, including this meeting. Yeah. All right. Let me start my workspace. So today focus is going to be, since we talked about mobile optimization last time, we talked about how we can look into our project and see what sort of performance improvements that might have and what kind of things that we can do in order to increase the performance by analyzing the build. So we use the Source Map Explorer in order to look what's wrong with our application, what's taking so much time, so much space in our application, and how we can fix that by simply offloading most of the elements from our application at starting point. Okay, do you guys have any questions before I start things up? Any questions that I need to answer? Um, or shall I start the lecture? Yes, anything? So Padma, do you have anything to add or anything? Padma, I can't hear you quite well. I think he has. I'm not sure whether it's me or everyone. I can't hear him quite good. Anyone else like? I'm not sure. Let's see who's in here. Pasindu? Anything to get clarified, Ravindu? I'm not hearing you guys. I'm not sure why. Hello? Ravindu, can you hear me?
So,
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have anything to get clarified or anything that need to be discussed before we move on?
No, sir.
Okay. Cool. So we have our application running on port 4200, and I think we have done validations on our end, and yeah, pretty much we just had simple loop in here. I'm talking about the Angular application right now. And yeah, so we'll be looking into another direction of our application, which is incorporating map functionality. That is one of the features that we need to discuss during this course curriculum as well. So anyone have seen map functionality or have included map functionality within your application? Please raise your hand. I have used map at least for some reason. I think on mobile application development, we utilize Google Map, right? Other than that, in web applications, okay, Pasindu has worked on it. Anyone else? Okay, since Pasindu is only one, Pasindu, what is your experience on map? How did you work? What sort of map solution that you have tried?
once I was working on a project where I had to track live location from mobile app and show it on a web application.
Okay, so you use Google Maps or any other map solution? There are like plenty.
No, I use Google Maps.
Google Maps. Okay. So yeah, there are, as I mentioned, there are plenty of map options that we can come around. It's based on the choices that we make when implementing the application. For example, most of the people would go with Google Maps in terms of easiness. But when it is coming to the license that Google Maps provides, sometimes it is not flexible within an organization. Sometimes they do not meet the what do you say, meet their intention on how flexible the license is. So there are like a couple of limitations and a couple of improvements when it is come to Google Maps. But since we have used Google Maps on several other projects, we will go into a different mapping solution. We will use Open Maps. So you guys might have heard about it. We call it. There is other solutions like Mapbox. So we will try to get one of those things in our applications. But the difference between using a map solution within our application is the map solutions that is provided, they are providing only mapping solution. That means they're showing underlying layers which conclude the application itself. It contains the streets and points, maybe some text on it, but it does not support some other additional features. Some libraries like Google Maps, they provide additional features such as drawing, pointing, plotting, and all the stuff. But most of the other mapping solutions, libraries out there, they do not provide out of the box functionality, but they are using several things to give the same experience. We will look into one of the map implementation. We will be using one solution called OpenLayer. So OpenLayer is really powerful mapping solution when it is coming to showing maps around it. So we can easily get started. There are a lot of things in order to in this solution that we can get in order to work. Okay, so I think okay. They have released the latest version, which is 7.00. That is nice. I've been using 6.0. All right. So as any platforms, this OpenLayer of OL package is not bounded to a framework. So it's not going to be bounded to React, Vue, or whatsoever. It's going to be a generic JavaScript module. So we have to use this within our application. So there are a couple of ways that we can include in our application. One is using npm. We can use npm install and OL within our application, and we can use it. Or we can use this hosted builds, where we have to copy the scripts and styling link into our application, and it will work as much as the same. But in my personal experience, I find that installing it via normal npm will help a lot, and it is easy to manage from our end. Okay, so we will go with normal npm install builds and see how we can get OpenLayer working in our project. Okay, so I will open up my terminal. Come on. It is not moving. Okay, close the participants. Okay. Right. Which one is this? Oh, I know the problem is. Okay, so I'm in the project itself. Here. Right. So what I have to do is I have to install the library itself into our application. It's quite simple. When you are trying to install, we can either define a version for it, or we can just install the latest version. If we install the normal version, it will be adding the latest. So we don't have a specified version, it will be latest. Otherwise, we can have, let's say it's version 6, version 5, and so on. Okay, let's get things started by installing OpenLayer. Let me quickly get into, yes, okay. This command is we have to npm install save OpenLayer. That means within this project, when we save --save, it can update the package JSON. So we know someone else is using the application. They will have this dependency. Since it is going to be saving the package JSON, anyone else don't have to manually install it. It will be installed as an npm command. So it will take a little bit time. Okay. Let me go to the VS Code. What is the command for going back and forth to the desktops? Not sure. Okay. So if you look at this application right now, dependencies. Did I install in the right place? That's pwd. Oh, sorry, wrong place. In npm install save OL, which can install the latest OL, which I suppose is 7, as mentioned in this website. Let's see. Okay. Right. Yeah, so within the package JSON, you can see that latest OL version is installed. When we do this, what will happen is we will get the latest OpenLayer, and it is some it is something similar to this script. That means we are referring to this script at least. So it is something similar with, if you are using npm, the same thing goes with OL in here, and the script functionality that we see here. It is like importing the JavaScript library to our application. Same goes here. It is not like importing, but at least we are saying in our application we are about to use this, but we haven't defined it somewhere else. And the next line that you will see here is the styling that we need to do. So we need to add styling for the OpenLayer. OpenLayer use their own styling mechanisms. So we need to get this styling in our application. We can simply copy and paste this line, or we can do the same thing with the npm. So this is like the least places that you will go in Node module, and you will find OL. OL, yes, OL in here, and under OL, there should be a CSS. We call that OL CSS. Too much. Yes, this one. So this CSS should be used in order to work within the open layer library itself. So its styling is coming from this ol.css. You can refer it from here, or you can refer the npm module based one in here. So we can copy this URL or the relative ones at least, and we can use it within our application. So how we gonna use this CSS library that included in our application? So let me teach you guys the two different ways. So we are using the Angular version of the application. So we have the index.html. So if you are referring this in our application, you can simply copy here and paste it in here. Okay, in the index.html, you can style it as a referential sheet. But if you're planning not to use it as a link, as I mentioned earlier, you have to import it from the Node module. So in order to import that into a Node module, there is special place that we need to define it here. It's under this project.json. So what we can do is we can tell Angular, okay, when you are starting your application, make sure to add this styling to our application as well. So it is something similar that we include it in our index.html, but in this manner, they will bind. Sorry, they will add it to the build bundle. That means the final build that we are doing, it will be added to that. So it's easy. So the place that you want to go is this project.json. In there, you can see already there are styles. So this is like the style.css, which is this one. Now we have another entry for that, which is which is available in Node module ol.css. So which this indicates that whenever we are building the application, include style.css as well as Node modules ol and ol.css. So this include this in the final build. So not only styling sheet, there can be assets like icons, maybe some images that you want to use. So those things will be also can be added by using this assets configuration, but mainly we added one single style, which is this one. So that is done. We have added these stylings within our application. Now the thing is, when you have done something like that, you have to restart the application. Otherwise, it won't know the project level changes. Code level changes it knows, but project level changes it does not know. So we have to save it again. It's building, and yes, it has built. So basically right now we can't see anything new. We haven't added the map itself. Okay. Right. So what we'll do is next we will create something called a page for this. Otherwise we can't show it in here. So what I'll do is I'll go under pages. So we have home page and we have login page. We'll be using this login page. Sorry, we will create another page in here for map. Then we will incorporate that there. I can use the NX console and I can select a project and I create a generate and I will say module. So it's easy to generate modules, and the module name, I'm going to name it map, and I'm going to select the project. Okay. And I will create route for this. It will be called map. And the declaration module will be app. That means it should go and register in the app module. Or do we have a page module? Can't remember. No, we don't have a page module. Everything is related to the everything is coming under the app module. So we will have the map module coming under the app module as well. So it will go and register there. We have a route. Do we need a routing module? Of course, why not? Yeah, that makes sense. And hit run. It will create a map module. So one thing I did wrong is I forgot to put it in the imports and everything. I mean, not on the page. So that will be updated as well. I just moved it. Okay. I will kill this terminal. Okay, now if I look at it, the map load children, it will be loading the map. So rather than going to home, I will, if I go to map, let me go to the map, and yes, the map works. The default HTML that we see, map works. It shows around here. Okay, cool. So we have created the a UI, at least the view. Now we have to import the map into our into our application. So how are we going to do that? It's going to be quite simple. Sorry. So we will be using what do you call a map component. We will create a map component in order to show this. Okay. Let's see how we can do that as well. First of all, within this map component, what we'll do is we will create what it's called a map, a placeholder for map where to render it. Okay, so this is something really important. So you can see that within this application, within this component, there is a div which has the ID OLM-map. The ID is completely up to you, but you have to remember this is the ID of this div that we're going to be using, and the containers the class declaration for this div, it's going to be map container. So one thing that you need to do in here, okay, I have used CSS. Let me rename it to SCS. I like SCS. Okay. All right. So under SCSS, I'm gonna make this host. That means this application. It's gonna provide. Oops. SCS. Yeah. So I will make this host in displaying flex, like direction in column. Column is actually not needed, or even the display. The most important one is we should give a height to this this section. Let's give it columns, and the map container itself, I will give the flex grow by 1. That means it's gonna utilize all the area available. Okay, so if I have this div, if I look at let's give a background color so you can see clearly. Okay, like something like this. You can see it is occupying this whole area. So flex grow is up to 1, and it is making a column. Then you can see the div that we have used, it's occupying the whole area. Right, now what we have to do is in our component level, we have to make sure we inject the map related stuff. Otherwise it won't be able to use. Okay, so first thing that we need to do, there are a couple of import things that we need to do. First one is the map. So from the package OL itself, it has a map. So we will be using the public map. The type is going to be map. Okay, so you can see that it is It is was initialized, so we have initialized at some point. So either you initialize it or make it optional. Okay, I think I can make it now, but I have to make it optional. The JS type cannot be outside the documentation comment. What is that supposed to be? Okay, let's initialize it anyhow. So I can say within the constructor this dot map equals new map. Okay, I'm going to create a new map. I'm going to create a new map instance. Okay, and there are a couple of options that I can give in order to make things happen. So first thing that we need to remember, map is based on different layers. Okay, layers which comprise on top of each other. For example, let's assume that we want a basic old plain map. We just need a map. So what we can do is we can define a layer, and the first element of that layer is a map. Okay. In this scenario, we can use different map implementations. As I mentioned earlier, there is Google Map, there is OpenStreetMap, and there are like plenty of other solutions from ArcGIS. There are other kind of map layers. So by defining a first layer of the map, first layer within our map object, we can define underlying map. It can be anything. Okay, it's not restricted to anything. Based on your project requirement and licensing and everything, if it is matching, you can use the underlying map option as you like. So there is one layer which containing the map, and there can be other plenty of layers which add other features, like another layer that we can put polygons in, another layer that we can put points in. Likewise, a layer by layer, it will be comprised of different layers, but when we are looking at it, it will be a one single map. Okay, so we'll go into more details. And first thing that we need to do in this map option, we need to define a target. Target means where this map is gonna render. So that's why I told this ID is much important. This is the ID that the map is going to be rendering on. So the target is pretty much important at this moment. Okay. Sorry. So we have target our map to be rendered in this div. Okay, the ID of the div should be given as the target of our application. Okay, still we don't see anything. The next thing that we need to do is add a layers. Okay, so there, as I mentioned, there can be different layers within our application. I will add one layer which has which is new. The layers also have different types. Okay, there are tile layers, there are style layers, there are polygon layers. Likewise, there are a lot of layers that we can use. So the base map, the base underlying map we call as is a tile layer. Okay, we have to import a tile layer. So we will import two other different things: the tile layer and the OpenStreetMap layer. Okay, it's basically a source. So I will create a new tile layer. Okay. So with the tile layer is just another layer, but what sort of things it should show? What is the source of its data? It is defined by the source attribute it has. Okay, and the source for this is not going to be a OpenStreetMap layer. So once we have defined that as well, we have created a new tile layer, and this tile layer is powered by OpenStreetMap. Okay, if you are using Google Maps, this is going to be a Google Map layer or something like that, or any other map solution. The source going to be different, so you know, okay, what type of layers that we going to be using. Okay, so we have defined a layer, and then the last thing that we need to define is a view. Okay, view in the sense how we're gonna look or how we see this map solution, or what is the angle of the map that we're going to be looking at. So you can see we have a customization called view, and we will create a new view, and within this view the center is going to be 0 0. That means the center of our map is going to be 0 coordinates, 0 latitude and 0 longitude. That means the Greenwich line, whatever that center as we define as center. So there is zoom levels. We can define zoom levels as well, and zoom level is initiated to 1. Okay, so there are a couple of things seems to be missing. Let's see what we did miss. Okay, I think I need a width. Yes, the class map container. Let's give it a width of 100%. No, 800 view height. Width. Do I get an error in here? Let's see. So apparently not. Basically, it should show them. Let's see, map container is okay. Without the flex flow. We added the map view, we targeted everything. Okay, did we add the target itself? Yes, OL map. Let's see, we can see any other. Okay, other things are working. Only thing that is not showing the map. Yeah, we have created the map and we have given the target. We have added the layers. We have created the view, and everything to be fine. But for let's restart the application. Sometimes this happens. I have encountered. Still no map. What could be go wrong? We have created the map. Seems to be the map is also instantiated, but it is not showing. Let me check what could go wrong. Map is instantiated. Let's see, what else did I miss? Most probably I have been missing let me check. Only thing that I can be missing is the library itself, so I can just check it manually. And there we go to index HTML. Oops, seems to be not working. Let's see whether is there any changes. Let's go to examples and see. Drag and drop. Seems to be fine. Let's take a simple map. So there are like a bunch of what do you call examples in here, which gives us a lot of flexibility if you are selecting. Yes, there's a simple map. Okay, we created the map. We create the OSM. We have target. We have the zoom level. Okay, and the script. Okay, we will create a map. It seems to be fine from my end. So we have everything with package JSON. Only thing, yeah, let's do the basics, basic map integration. It's not the home, the map. I'll create the ID and map, and under styling we have this map thing. Okay. Background color red. It is showing as everything is okay. Map. The target should be mapped now. Map oil map. Okay, let's copy this and as well. Some reason it is not showing. Why is that? Anyone have any bright ideas why it is not working? And it should work. Sample map, it should come something like this. But it's not. Let's see the inspection and see whether we can find any errors in here. Resource assets, logo the people. No, that is not the case. Sant something. Yeah, we did not miss anything. Element is correct. Let's take to incognito window and see if that is the same issue. Yeah. Alright. Sample let's do one more thing. Index HTML. Most of the time, this happens if the library or library is not in use, but in this case, we have everything in place. Okay. Style sheet is okay. It's not rendering. Let's see, we can get some help from open layer 7 not showing. Let's see whether we can find any. One other thing that I think might be happening within this constructor method. Let me move it to the initialize method. Or if I move it to initialize, log, just log in here, and the map's gonna be optional. Oh, there you go. So my bad. It should be handled in the init section of our application. So silly me. So rather than working in the constructor, we have to adhere to the Angular life cycles. That means on init, we should render this map. Silly me. Yeah. So I'll change the styles in here as well. 100 view heights. Yeah, so we get a nice looking UI in here. So we can change some other parameters as well. Say for zoom to be 17, that is like the default of the zoom. And the center of our application, 17 is too much, I think 13 was default. Anyhow, the 00 center location is not that much good. Let's take a popular place, let's say Sigiriya. And let's see, we can get the location on here. Normally can get directions, right? Sigiriya lat long, maybe. Let's say in here.
So I think we can right click and take it.
Yeah, you just click right, but nothing happens. Let me click on my mouse. Yeah, same thing, nothing happens. Maybe I should go to Google Maps itself. Google Maps. Okay. Go to see. Okay. Now it shows. I don't know. Something with the Google Map. Okay, we will copy it. And let's go back to our application. Most of the time, what will happen is we will end up entering wrong coordinate type. Let's keep it like 7. So 2. Seems to be not adhering to the center. It seems, oh, I'm entering the wrong coordinates. Should be lat long or long lat. Always confuse me. Anyhow, we will see. We will see how we can add more things to the view itself and how we can utilize more on this. Maybe to zoom 1. Yeah. I think the center means that the geo coordinate system. We'll put something more useful later on. Okay, cool. So any questions up until this, guys? Sorry, I went haywire on the init method. That's something that you guys can actually learn. So instead of using constructor, if you are using constructor in this case, that means the application, the view itself, it is still being loaded. And after only init means this is a life cycle method of Angular. So when Angular starts, so Angular start to read, then we can create the map. So it will work. So sorry. So you can see the importance of the lifecycle methods in here as well. So once Angular on init started, we have the map playing around in here. Okay, cool. So anything that I need to clarify again, or are you all good? Just give me 1 second. My nose is filled. Okay. So anything that I need to clarify it again? Do you need another walkthrough? Anyone need a walkthrough? Please raise your hand so I can give a quick walkthrough on this. All good? Hansa, are you good?
Okay. Very good done.
Tarun, how about you?
Yes, sir. No problem.
Okay. So you can see that we are using OpenStreetMap. It's really simple. We create a map, we add a layer, we define the target and we give a view. And we will change these parameters based on the more examples that we will get, especially when we are zoom to a location or that kind of functionality. How we will see how we can do that. Okay, so we have our map implementation in place. So there are, as I mentioned, there are plenty of examples. If you go to the OpenLayer website itself, this is the simplest form of map that we have incorporated. There are other maps, other operations that we can do, other things that we can do. For example, you can see map layers like Bing Map. If you want to use rather than open layers, if you want to use Bing Map, of course, what should change is this tile layer. So we can use the source as a Bing Map, and obviously you guys know that Bing, Google, those kind of services, they are using a key in order to display these things. So they use these API keys where you can generate, and you have, if there is a key that you need to use, you have to use it from here. And the imaginary set that we're going to be using, what they are like, these are like customization for Bing Map. You can do those customizations over here. And it's the same thing. We have layers, we have a target, and we have a map location. I'm not sure what this center is all about. Maybe it is using some different coordinate systems. Okay, let's try that center, whether it is working with ours. Not sure. No, it's still not. But we will look into more examples. So this is how you're going to change the layers. Okay, how many layers that we're going to use, and what sort of things that we can do in these layers. All right, there are a lot of examples in here depending on your usage, and remember the source for a manipulation that you do within the map that you're going to do, it's not a specific provider, it's like you can use Bing, you can use OpenStreet, or you can use your own imageries. So say, for example, you are building your own mapping technology, you have received your own images, you have your own set of images. So we call these things as TIFF images. Okay, you can use your own TIFF images if you like, as a source have defined in here. You can get, if you have access to these TIFF images, then you can put those images in the application itself as well. That is also possible with these this kind of imageries. Okay, these are like images like JPGs or PNGs that you use, but especially optimized for geographic information. So rather than having normal information such as width, height, it also containing coordinate systems within this application. So sorry, within this image. So the TIFF is one of the formats which support variety of geospatial data. So you can use this as a source. Here you go. We create a new source and we create a tile layer, and the source is going to be the source that we have defined. So I can either we can use some source like OSM, Bing Map, Google Map, whatever you like, or you can use your custom own image source built out of a TIFF image. Okay, so this is like the advantage that I see over using traditional mapping solutions like Google Map. So if you have used Google Map, what will happen? You are bounded to use only Google Map. But in this scenario, you can You can use whatever the mapping solution, mapping source that you like. So you can do customization. We'll see a lot of customization in this scenario as well. Yeah, let's do a little bit more, like we'll try to put a feature we call the point. Let's points layer, synthetic points, icon pixel, magnify, icon and symbolization. I think icon and symbolization would do. Yeah. Yes. We will go something. It's really complicated, too much. Pixel operations. Let's see. Let's try to keep a simple point. Too many data in here. Nope. Let's see feature. Box selection, custom animation, marker animation. Okay. Yeah, not can use this. Custom animation, CGI data, pointer layer, translate layer. Let's go with custom animation. I think it should contain. Okay. Let's create a simple a layer of images or tiles so we can draw a simple feature. Okay. Let's see if we have circle or circle or something like that. Finish drawing, measures, draw shapes. Yeah, let's do something. Draw shapes, maybe something very small. Okay, this is this is like custom interaction. So modify features, lines, strip arrows, measure, scale. Let's go with something simple, maybe an icon. Yeah, we will create a simple icon on this, so it's easy for you guys to understand what we are talking about. All right. So we'll try to go from the backward layers, so you guys can understand what we have come across, and we'll okay, I think there is this function called from lateral. Let me check that as well. Center from lateral. Okay, it changed a little bit. think I can go with what was the one I used? Right. Yeah, seems to be focusing on Sigiri. Let's move it to the zoom like a little bit more. Too much, 13. There you go. So it is showing Sigiri, yes, we can see it in here. And the center, the function has changed. That is new for me as well. You can see the center from lat long, and you have to give the latitude and longitude, then it will center around here. So the center of our map is going to be Sigiriya, or this coordinate at least, and the zoom level is 13, and it will show into that zoom level. Okay, you can change the zoom in here if you like, or you can like customize that as well. Okay, cool. That is new something for me as well. Okay, let's do something like this. Even though it is showing Sigiriya, we will put a pointer there. Maybe we draw a circle or something like that. It's really easy comparing to other mapping solutions. Okay, so we look at the example in here. Oops. So we have looked into view, we have looked into target, we have seen layers, of course, we have seen layer. So in here, there are two layers. One is called the raster layer. The other one is called the vector layer. Okay. So you can use either of these layers. Okay. The base layer for this is this raster layer that we are seeing in here. We can try it out if you like. Let's say we are using that raster layer. Really simple. I will copy that and I can put it in a const like this. We have to name it as raster layer. Tile JSON, I think I have to import that. Tile JSON is coming from source tile JSON. Okay. Cool. Now what I have to do is, instead of saying this OSM layer, I can say raster layer. Right. Yeah, I can see some sort of imagery in here, but I'm not going to use that raster layer. I'm going to stick with the OSM layer. So I will take this OSM layer and put it in a variable. So it's easy to me to OSM. Okay. So I have the layers. Now I have not add any layers. So within this, I will add the OSM layer. Actually, this .osm. Okay, now we have two layers. One layer is, sorry, we have only one layer. That is the OSM layer. And we have defined it in here. Pretty cool. Okay. Now we're going to add another layer. So as I mentioned earlier, we can have multiple layers in our application. So on top of the OSM layer, I will add another vector layer. Okay, the vectors in the sense it can be anything. So I will create a new vector layer. Okay, so there is a vector layer created for us. I will copy and paste it in here. Vector layer should be imported. And it, as I mentioned earlier, every layer, even though it is a vector layer or a tile layer, these layers need a source. Okay, source is where you're getting these features, what you want to show. So there is this vector source you can see in here. And we will create a vector source from that. Okay, we are creating a vector source. source is going to be for a vector, it's going to be a vector source. I need to say this dot vector source. I think I have to construct it in here. I will say I will have a vector layer, and it's gonna be a vector layer kind of thing. This dot vector layer, it's gonna be vector source, and I'm gonna have a vector source, and it's gonna type vector source, and I'm going to initiate the vector source in the constructor itself. So this vector source is going to be here. So we need some features in here. So in here they have put some features like Rome, London, Madrid, Paris. So these are like locations that we need to show. Okay, you can see that there is Rome, there is Madrid, and everything. So we will create one for Sigiriya. Okay, and we won't have these locations. We will have one feature. A feature may contain different what do you call it? Different types. A feature might be a point feature, polygon feature, line feature. In this scenario, we are interested in a point. Okay, so we're going to be creating a point, which is going to be one single point, one coordinate system. So I will create a feature in here. Before that, I have to argument type source vector given also the parameter type vector source. Parameter type base vector source. Let me create this dot. Okay. This dot vector layer equal new vector layer, and vector layer okay, vector layer, I think I have vector layer. A different vector layer that I have import. So type inherit in type change, you can see it in here. So you can import tile layer from tiles, and you can change the type as tile layer. In here we are using vector layer. I can directly import that. Import vector layer from OL layers vector. Then I don't need this actually. Okay, that might be the issue. So vector layer, and vector layer have a source. Source will be this vector source. Perfect. So vector layer, what is the issue here? So do I need to initialize it? Class view problem, generic type vector layer, vector source type require one type of argument. Okay, vector layer. Vector layer is gonna be it should be asking vector source type requires one argument. Let's see what this all about. It's asking for a generic type. Type declarations. Vector source geometry. Okay, so we have to define the typings for that. So vector layer is going to be accepting vector sources, which will be accepting geometry. So in a normal sense, what it does means is like we are accepting we are defining a vector layer which contains vector source, which the vector source itself taking geometry as an input. So you can see that we have a vector layer, and the vector layer source type is going to be a vector source. This vector source is accepting only geometries. That means only features like points, polygons, and so on and so forth. We'll see more in-depth examples as we go along. Okay, as for now, nothing is shown in here. Even we have to add the vector source, this dot vector layer, sorry, we have to add the vector layer. But in this vector layer, so we have the base layer and we have the vector layer. In the vector layer, we have a source, which is called the vector source. And the vector source has features, but in right now we don't have any features built on top of it, no features at all. So we will create a feature. Okay, we will create a feature. We will create a feature, let's say, not Rome, but Sigiriya. Okay, it's going to be a feature. OL feature, and we will have import a point, and from latitude and longitude, and since I know the latitude and longitude from Sigiriya, since it is the same as the center, I'll put it in here. So I have defined a feature called Sigiriya. Oops. That is the format command. Alt shift. You have Alt shift. So I have defined a feature. Okay, this feature type is it's going to be a geometrical feature, and it's going to be a point. Point means one singular point that's going to be extending from a latitude and longitude point. So this feature we named as Sigiriya, and we will add that feature to the source. The source will add it to the layer. Layer will add it to the map itself. And you can see that there is a small dot on here, the blue color one. Yes, the blue color one, that's the feature, that's the point that we have put it in here. Say, for example, we want to put Pidurangala as well. Okay, what we have to do is we have to find Pidurangala. Yes, here it is, Pidurangala. I will copy the latitude and longitude. So what I can do is const Pidurangala new feature, and this feature is going to be a geometry, and it's going to point out a new point from lat long, and the lat long is going to be, it's going to be long lat, I think, or lat long, not sure. Okay, I have put another feature, but unless I add this feature to the source, it won't be showing. So I will take Pidurangala and put it under the source. The source is added to the vector layer. The vector layer is added to the map. So I should have 2 points now. As you can see, there are 2 points over here. Which one? One is for the Pidurangala, one is for the Sigiriya. You can see that even though yes, the place I clicked on it, it is the exact place that it's going to show. Now you guys can see that basically there are 2 points over here, and you can add many more points if you like, but remember it should be within the zoomed area, otherwise it won't show. Like you can see that, can zoom out. You can see that still it shows. If I remove the OSM layer, that means the mapping layer, now you can see that 2 points clearly. But if I add the OSM layer, it is gonna show the underlying OSM layer, and on top of it, the vector layer. What will happen if we change the order of these layers? Let's see how it's gonna look like. So now you guys can see, first of all, I added the vector layer, then I have added the OSM layer. That means the underlying layer is the vector layer. On top of it, I have added the map layer. So what will happen is, basically, as you can understand, it's gonna override because the map layer is a huge area, the vector layer is very small one, so it won't be able to show. So what we have to remember, order matters when you're adding layers. The bottommost layer will have more things or more priority. So make sure your vector layer added on top. Okay, so we created very simple layers. We had the first vector layer. This vector layer is comprised of vector source, because every layer is powered by a source. So the source can contain a lot of features, and in here I have 2 features. The 2 features are one is a point feature, another one is a point feature as well. There are other features as well. Point is one type of features that we can put. There can be other things like line features. Okay, we will try to create a line feature. Let's try to create a line feature from Sigiriya to Pidurangala. Let's see whether we can get that done. So we can say Sigiriya to Pidurangala. Okay, new feature. I will create a feature, and it's going to be a geometry. And this time it's going to be a line. I think it is called line, if I'm not mistaken. Line. Let's see the feature type. Or I can say polygon. Custom. Yes. Vector layer, vector source, type polygon. Let's get a polygon at least. So polygon we know for sure. Uh, Polygon is the basics. Basically a polygon need what's actually a polygon need? Geometry feature. Polygon needs coordinates. Okay, let's give some. Make sure you are importing the right polygon, otherwise it's gonna give us a lot of troubles. Okay, it's from geometry polygon. We need to create how the polygon constructor coordinates. Okay, it's asking for coordinates. It's asking for coordinates. Cannot find coordinates. That's weird. Let's see, coordinate or coordinate array layout. Okay, I need to give coordinates. So I'll create the coordinates. Const. Let's create const. Coordinates. Okay, and it's gonna ask for an array of coordinates. I will go with lat long from here. Okay. Oops. I think it needs just basic coordinates. Figure and I can provide these coordinates to polygon number of Sigiriya. It's gonna be coordinates. Okay. What I'll do is I will put coordinates into like this. Sigiriya coordinates equals, so I can reuse these things. Okay. And I will say Sigiriya coordinates should be const. I have Sigiriya feature and Sigiriya coordinates, and I will take Vidurangala as well. It's gonna be Vidurangala coordinates equal from lat long. Okay, and when I'm using the feature, I will put it in here. Don't need this on here. I have coordinate system. Yeah, I have two coordinates, Sigiriya coordinate that is here, and I have Vidurangala coordinate that is here, and I had to put it in there, and coordinate is put a number or coordinate array by array. I think I had to put it in arrays. Okay, now we have a feature type of polygon, and I will add this feature to our vector source. Feature polygon on vector source of, oops. Give me a minute, guys. My electricity is going haywire today. Okay, let me turn off my UPS. UPS is going crazy today. Okay, all of you can see my screen, right? Yes. Okay. Let's see what we are doing in here. Not assignable to feature point. Okay, so the main reason that we are not allowed to add, so we set this vector source. Okay, in vector source, it's only available for feature points, so we can't have feature point in here. Like this source is gonna be only for pointing things out. Okay, we might need to create another vector source for the polygons. Right now, this vector source is only supported for points only, not for features, not for polygons. Okay, we will create another layer later on. For now, just remember how you can create a polygon. We have a polygon, and Sigiriya to Vidurangala, and since this vector source is not supporting other things, it cannot be added, but you can try for your exercise. Maybe try to add a polygon layer. First of all, you have to add a polygon layer. To that polygon layer, you have to support polygon. Sorry, you have to add polygon polygon source. Then the source should contain features. Okay, so so from my experience, as I have seen a lot of map implementations, like even the web, even in the mobile, this is like the fundamental theories behind map initializations. Why? Because ultimately we need to draw some things on top of our normal map. Just map is won't gonna do us any good. We need to, let's say, if you guys have seen applications like Uber Eats or Uber, we have the map. On top of the map, we are drawing cars, we are drawing locations. So we need to do some modification on top of it. So how you're going to do that? Based on layers. Okay, we draw layer by layer. On top of one layer, we draw another, and we show whatever the detail that we need to show on top of the base layer. Or this in this case, we are using OSM layer. On top of OSM layer, we are defining a vector layer. This vector layer, by chance, has any source, should have a source. So this source containing this source is containing Sigiriya and Pidurangala. Okay, those are as features. So we did not succeed drawing other than a point feature, like a polygon feature. You guys can find it out and figure it out yourself. So these kind of things are possible. You can draw a feature, a polygon feature, or maybe some complex feature, like sometimes, for example, we might want to draw, let's say, in here you can see that there is this Sigiriya rock area, right? Or is this one? I'm not sure. So I think this is the Sigiriya rock area. So you want to draw a border around this. You want to draw a border around this Sigiriya area. So what you have to do is you have to get the coordinates of each and every points, at least these feature points that we can think of, and using that polygon, also using that coordinates, you have to create a polygon which contains so many features, and with that you can add it into your map layer, and on top of your map layer, you have to add it to your source, and your source will be added to the layer, and the layer will be defined, a layer will be added to your map. Okay, so that's kind of the way most of the 99% of maps that we need a customization to happen is working as it is. Okay, so any questions up until this, guys? I know it's a little bit too much detail to take in, but believe me, when you know how things are arranged, like how layers are defined, how source are defined, how features are defined, this is like the fundamental of all the map functionalities that you will be seeing out there. Okay, this is like if you are using native Android or native iOS, so these basic fundamentals will be there, so you guys can get the inspiration or get the basics knowledge from web development framework, like web development course, something like this, and you can apply these same technologies, same concepts into mobile applications as well. So it's really easy. All you need to know features, source, layers, and the map. So this is how these things are conceptualized, not only in web but also in mobile as well. Any questions up until this, guys? Yes, any questions? Hello? Pasindu, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Chanaka?
No, sir.
Okay. So your assignment is gonna be this. So you will be you'll be using whatever the mapping solutions like OSM or whatever that you find easy. And one more step that you have to go is get your current location. Okay. So nowadays browsers support getting the current locations. So let's see, Google Chrome get user location. So you can get the user location, at least from geolocation part of view. Location views from your mobile app or maybe from your desktop. And what you have to do is you have to get that location, and of course there is going to be uh, browser support as well. Not all browsers support geolocation at this point. So what you have to do is get a supporting browser like Chrome. Chrome is definitely gonna support that. Once a user is allowed their location, what you have to do is show a map point in or a feature like this. So a feature like this within your application itself. Okay, that is all you have to do. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. Any questions with the assignment? Hello? Any questions? Anyone of you?
So do we have to stick with Angular? Or
No. It's totally you can go with React or whatever. Even plain JS is fine, but you'll find quite easy to interact with frameworks like say, React JS or Angular JS. It's going to be quite easy. Any questions upon other than that? Styles. No? Okay. So what you have to do is just look at this implementation. I will push the code, and then you guys can click the code and just put a pin in your current location, and make sure the current location you should get it from the browser. Okay, not hard coded ones. Okay, you can't hard code your locations like this. No hard coding is allowed. The location should be taken from the browser itself. The browser supports you to get the current location. In here you will find a lot of information. Let's see whether we have any examples. Let's see with it. Google Map, but you can use any other fork as well. Let's see whether it is loading. So make sure the navigator geolocation is available on your browser. most of the time this is available, so you don't have to. Yes, there are some example codes where you can use, like show my location. There you go, show my location, and it is asking to whether you want to give consent to know your location. If I block, you will say unable to retrieve user location. And now you can see that it is blocked, and you can unlock by going click on here and location, and you have allowed it, and you have to reload once you have given the permission. Now show my location. I think it is not picking up for some reason. Okay, geolocation is unable to retrieve location. Reset permission. Allow. Okay, so some reason my browser is not supported, but the main idea is in here. You guys can get the location from the browser itself. This will probably gonna work on your mobile phones if you tried it out. Let me check whether I have that option. I'm launching my Google Chrome. Geolocation, MSDN, geolocation API. Let me check. Okay. Using geolocation. Using that examples. Yes. Show my location, and I will allow it. Yes. I can share a screenshot. Parallel and not parallel. Okay. Okay. So in the chat, I have put the result, which is based on my location. So you guys can also try within your mobile phone, at least, because it support built-in GPS. Sometimes your browser, your laptop does not support. So what you guys can do is take a look at this implementation and put your current location in the map. Okay, so everybody is clear on what you have to do. Anyone having any doubts? Anyone having any doubts?
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
When we when we have picked the location, is it picked through the network or sensor?
Normally, when we are using this geolocation API, it's gonna ask from the browser itself. So the browser will decide whether it's gonna be sensor or from the network. So most probably, if you are using a phone, it's gonna be your built-in phone sensor, right? So you don't have to worry about where it is getting, like from your network or the GPS. I think, as far as I know, when you are requesting the web APIs, it's going to be from your mobile GPS sensor. So you don't have to worry about where it is coming from. At least we are getting it from your web browser. Make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Anything else that you need to know? Yes, anything else?
Sir,
Yep.
sir, as I understand that our assignment is on the load of our application, it should ask access to the location and point to the map.
Yes,
Am I right?
yes. When you load this map, what should you do is, it will ask whether you want to allow the location. If you can remember, it is gonna be something like this. It is going to be something like this. Okay, it's going to show this pop-up, and if you allow that, what will happen on your map, in a map solution like this, you will show your location on it. Make sense?
Yes, sir. As I understand, for laptop and desktop, it not give accurate location.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's-
That's fine. As long as you can get some sort of location, that is totally fine. Since this is mobile related stuff, you have to always go from your mobile phone and test this out. Okay. So you guys having any problems accessing these kind of things in your mobile? Do you guys know how I can access my local machine, the 4200 from my mobile? Do you know guys how to do that? How you gonna serve this application in your mobile? Any ideas on that? I can show it around, no problem. Anyone knows how to do that? Like this application is running on my local machine, right? Localhost 400 2000. So 4200. Now I want to run this in my mobile phone. How can I test this? Anyone knows how to do that? Please raise your hand. Okay, Padma knows, Pasindu. Okay, anyone care to share the experience? I think Padma showed. Oh, Pasindu. Anyone?
So I'm not sure about this NX server, but
Okay.
usually it works if we put the local IP address in the mobile browser, then it should work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, maybe we might have to do some configurations, no? Like in
Yeah.
Tomcat servers.
Yeah, there are several approaches that you can do. First of all, you have to make sure your Wi-Fi network. So I am in my Airtel Wi-Fi, and your phone is in the same same network. So I have to be in the same network as my laptop is, and I can find my IP address. So let's for example, network preferences. And I have the network ID address of this 192 and 100. So if I go in here, instead of using localhost, 192.168.1.100, yes, I can remember, and 4200. Was that 1.100? 0.100, right? In here, if I say 0.100, 192.168. 0.100. Yeah, 0.100. It should work, but most of the test servers that we do, they are not gonna allow other than localhost. The same IP is, as you can see, IP is correct, but 4200 we don't get access. But if you are running something like, as mentioned, like Tomcat server or something like that, of course you will get access out of these IP address. But for, unfortunately, Angular, React, those kind of things, they don't allow this. But there are alternative ways that we can test. Partner, do you have any experience apart from this that we need to talk?
The React app support, as I tested. Apart from that, there is a npx import browser sync or something like this.
Yeah.
It can support.
Exactly. Yeah. So what we can do is there are a couple of other ways as we can try. Okay. Let me demonstrate those things for you guys as well. So I'm in my um, uh, project. I will build the project. Okay, that is fairly simple. In next build, okay, it will take some time and the build is done. So I can go to my distribution directory, apps, e-learning, and if I ls, I can see all the files, right? Especially the index.html. So I can start a web server from here. Okay, so example, if you are using Python, -m http.server. Okay, so what this will do is it's gonna create a Python server within this location, Python -m http server under port 8000. So if I go to the same application, yeah, so I'm in the same IP address, and if I put 8000, now you can see that application is accessible, right? And I can go there, I can see the map. Is it not the map? Not sure. Okay. The server just. Okay, never. Home. Okay, there is this bug, not a bug actually. This is related to routing. Okay, but anyhow, you guys can see it here that you can go in here and type these things out, go to home and map. Of course, you can't go in here, but you can see that same IP address and you can visit that. But if you turn on your mobile phone right now, make sure you are in the same Wi-Fi. And if you type in the same IP address, you will be able to go to this web address and you will see your application as well. That is also one option. Okay, and this is good if you are building, if you are testing your final output. Okay, but most of the time when you are building your applications, it is not that enough. Like you are doing constant changes and it is not gonna work, and if you find any bugs that is not able to fix, so that is gonna take some time. So what I'll do is I will show another way, but this is only working in Chrome and Chromium browser installed in your phone as well. So let me do one quick thing here. I will say a link. I would say route a link to map. Let's say map in here because I need a map link in here. Let me go to my application and I would say home. If I say go to map, it's not going to the map. Route a link. I have added the routing module. So for localhost 4200, I can go to map and it's showing Sigiriya. So as I mentioned, you can build and you can show it, or there's a nice way of doing that. I'm not sure whether you guys have done it. If you go to inspect and there is this 3 dots and you can go to more tools and you have the options called, where was it? Memory inspector, memory provider, coverage. What's new? Oh, this has changed a lot. The audio security, network inspector, not animations. It's new, not the console itself. Devices, not devices. I'm not sure whether they have removed it. It's called port forwarding. Let's do a search. Oh, there you can. There is new one called sensors. I think you can fake your location if you like, and if you don't own a more mobile, you can. Okay, not sure. Not the one I was expecting. Let me do a Google search. Google Chrome port forwarding. Setup debug between, yes, accessing the local server. This is what I'm looking for. Remotes debugging when you're developing port forwarding. Setup remote debugging. Okay, this is the one that you need to do. Discover your Android phone, you to open developer options and configure on device, enable USB debugging, make sure your Android phone is visible. Okay, first you have to go to this Chrome setting and allow your mobile phone to be shown in here. You can see that what are the things that you can see in your application. These are like the ones that is open in my machine. Okay, and there is nice handling features called port forwarding, and you can see that 88 is port forwarded. I will go with 4200 local. So which one I want to see. So in your phone, if you say 4200 and your local host 400,000 will be done, and you have to say enable port forwarding and hit done. Okay, so you can see that 4200 and 800 are local forwarded. Now if you go to your mobile, I'm not sure whether you guys can't won't be see this, but if you type local host, local, now I am typing localhost 4500, sorry, 4200. And you can see that the eLearn is showing in here. If I say inspect, so I will get off from the Chrome. I can add even eLearn. I can focus tab, reload. Should show the sorry, yeah. So you can see that this is actually my phone right now. If I so you can see that when I click on it, it is showing in here. And if I say if I type in something here, I'm doing it my phone. Okay, I'm not doing it typing in my machine, and you can see it's obviously working. And if I hit go, yes, it is showing. And if I go to my map view, and it is showing my map view, which is in my phone. Okay, this is my phone itself. Okay, this is like cloning your phone, and you can see it in here. Now you can do a bunch of stuff. If you try to drag around, you can see your phone is also dragging around. Okay, you can try this port forwarding option, which makes mobile development really easy. But make sure you have an Android phone as well as Chrome, and your mobile phone is develop option is turned on. Okay, now I can, you can see that I am doing this in my phone. I can't do this much accuracy from my laptop. So yeah, this is like handy little thing that you can do from your phone and your Android. Yeah, so give it a try, and you will find a lot of interesting stuff that you can do. Make sure port forwarding is enabled. Either it is from the you have to like plug in your mobile device via a cable, or you can there are some features that you can do over network. Okay, you don't need the cable itself. As long as you are in the same network and it is discoverable from Chrome to Chrome, you can communicate and enable this feature. Okay, so really helpful when you want to debug your application from your mobile perspective. Now the console is also showing, and everything that you need to do, you can do it from here. Yeah, so that is a nice handy trick I use all the time to look into my mobile phone web development. Okay, all right, so take a look at this. It will be really easy. I will share the link, remote debugging, in the group itself, so you guys can have a look on it as well. Where is I don't have, can't remember where the chat was on. Okay, I have shared it. Okay, let me go to my web. Okay, I have shared the link. You guys can play around it and see whether it is supported. Unfortunately, I have not found this kind of setup for Mac and iOS. But if you guys have found somewhere where you can debug your Safari from your iOS device, please let me know. It will be really helpful on some occasions that we are trying to do some things that especially when it is coming to remote debugging iOS applications, iOS web applications, not iOS per se. Okay, right. We have talked about little tricks and tips. So any last, let's see, I want to try the feature that I have seen right now. If it is working, it is a light server. So you can see that show my location, it is unable to retrieve your location, it is not allowing. So more tools, and I have seen sensors, and location is, let's say, Moscow. Manage, okay. At least it is Moscow. And if I refresh, no, it's not. I'm not. I was really expecting this will be working, but seems not. Oh no, it's working. That's good. It's showing the latitude and longitude of wherever this is, 537. Yeah, it's quite the same. Okay, that's nice. So you can fake it. That is also nice if you are trying to, let's say Berlin. Berlin has 52. Okay, it's not getting back. At least I don't know whether I have to reset the permission. Oh yeah, after resetting it, it shows. I mean, there might be a bug or something like it, but it's really nice that I bump into this. I did not know about that. I can fake the location from Chrome. That is cool. Yeah, maybe something you guys can learn while you're developing. Okay, that is done. That is said. So I'm not gonna go into lot of features on OpenLayer. That because OpenLayer itself. Sorry. OpenLayer itself, it's a huge library. It's a huge library in the sense you can almost do a lot of things with this map solution if you're trying to develop an application using OpenLayer itself. Believe me, when I actually worked as a web developer based on map solution. So OpenLayer itself, I could have built a very sophisticated web solution. It took me like 6 months to understand OpenLayers, where I am right now. It took a lot of effort to get it done, but the end product was really nice. So you guys, I can give you a little bit insight on that. The end product was I can locate any place in the world and I can get the measurements on that through the web. Earlier it had to be done via some sort of what do you call proprietary software like ECDMap or ArcGIS, but I was able to replicate the same functionality using OpenLayer in the browser. So it was really huge. And it took a lot of things in order to achieve that, but the basics and fundamentals you will probably learn using this kind of simple application. Just try to put a location map and whatever you like, then you will see it's really not that hard to learn. Let me look at something like stylings. Yeah, I think it's something really interesting. Not that kind of styling, change tile layer style. I want to edit the features itself. Okay, map layer view. So no, it's gonna change the map style. Cluster, dynamic cluster, polygon styles. Let me check on earthquake cluster. It will show, yeah. Those are like little bit too much. Okay, there's a nice one. ROM set style, that style icon. Okay, these are using icons itself, it seems to be. I think I can add some strokes to that. Let's see whether we can do that for fun. Let's go to the map activity component. Okay, we have feature. So London feature, we can set the style. Feature, see here, and we can set style, yes, and new style. So style, open layer style, and we can say stroke, new stroke. Okay, and I can say stroke color to be something like, sorry, see whether it's working. See here, set style. Okay, seems to be Sigri is gone with the stroke color. I think I have to give a width like 2. There might be a couple of things I am missing. If you are giving a style, you have to override it entirely. So we will see any other. Style has a lot of options. Image, okay, I have to give a fill for sure. Fill. Missing properties, color. Okay. With cluster, we will just take one of these strokes. Color, we have width. So fill, okay, we have to go with the new fill. Fill, new fill. Fill. Okay, fill should have a color. Let's say the color is, let's go with RGB values. That makes sense because nope, still the stroke is not visible. Maybe I have to give radius. I'm not sure, like. Image. Circular style, I have to get the circular style. Oh, else. Import circle style. OL style. I think compilation problem. Okay, color, I will give a static color. There you go. You can see the Sigire is having a little bit of, let's say the radius I will increase to like 20, yes. You can see it's styling little bit, good, and I can change the opacity, yes, that is good. And I think if I apply a stroke to image, yes, that is also showing. Let's say width is like 10, which is too much, but yeah, you can see that it is showing as well. Let's go with the solid color 1. There you go. Rather than 5, let's go with red. As you can see, there are a lot of examples. I mean, even the API is a little bit changed from my end, but you guys can see that these kind of features, these kind of functionalities are available in here. And now Vidurangala is not having any styles, but Sigiri I have set a style, and based on that style, it will render whatever you like. Or maybe there are animations, whatever you like, you can customize it in here. And you can like see for yourself what you can do with this map solution. Radius is like 10, yeah, whatever you like. Maybe a huge area that you want to define. Depending on your requirement, you can obviously change these things. Yeah, so it's up to you to figure it out. I have just did a small styling that we can do. And you have, as I mentioned, lot of things in this OpenLayer. I can do 1-year course on this itself, because this library is really huge. You can draw shapes on it. Just try these things out. Like I have heavily used this. Let's say, for example, I want to draw a circle, and if I click on the map and just move my mouse and click on again, I can draw a circle. If I want to draw a square, and if I want to do the tilde and everything, I can put it right here. Okay, so OpenLayer, you can actually build something like Paint if you like from this library itself. It is really powerful. It's not it is not something like that we can create for map and everything. It's like a huge library that has plenty of usages. So that's why I want to teach you guys this solution rather than go with a specific like map solution like Google and all those things, because this contains a lot of features which are not in the applications like Google and itself. Of course, Google have these some sort of features like this, like drawing polygons and everything. But knowing something generic is a little bit okay. Like it's easy for you guys to work more things as well. All right. So there are like points you can do, lines you can draw. And yes, you can draw polygons. There you go. So a lot of things that you can experience around. Try this library and try the assignment that I have given to you guys. Okay. So any questions up until now, guys? Anything related to OpenLayer, mapping solutions and everything? Okay. Nothing. All right. So basically what we have done the implementation in Angular. So you guys can edit OL maps. I'll add these things, commit as commit these changes as well. So you guys can play around with this and share your own experience on that as well. Okay. Anything else we want to discuss? It took less time to explain than I expected. Anything in general that we need to talk? No, nothing. Okay, cool. So let me stop record.